intro. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. Hey there, folks. My name is Brad Varnell, and this is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. And today I am excited for another token teaser segment. And this project is super exciting because it hasn't even launched yet. You guys are going to be some of the first people to hear about how you can get involved in this project over the next handful of days before it launches to the public. So without any further ado, let me bring on the co-founders of this amazing project, of the HashRateHacker project. Welcome to the show, guys. How you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having us on. We're super excited to discuss HashRateHackers.
Hey, Brad. Nice to meet you.
Hi. Nice to meet both of you, too. I'm really excited to, share with my community everything that you guys have going. I'm a huge fan of Bitcoin ordinals. I think you guys might know Toby and the team from Ordinals Bot.
I'm actually I'm a seed investor in the company. Been awesome. Really close with Toby and the guys for quite a while now.
Yeah, they're incredible. We met them at Bitcoin 2024. We actually did a couple of videos on Bitcoin ordinals and the Trio token. And so, yeah, I'm excited to, see what you guys have to share. So, I have your website, I have your Twitter, and a few things kind of ready to go at whatever point you guys want to bring them up. But if you guys would just like to give us a little bit of your background and a little bit about how you got into this crazy world of blockchain technology and how, HashRateHackers, came about, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, that'll be great. I'll go first, and then later I'll toss it off to you. So Mason here. I'm a co-founder of HashRateHackers, and I'm also the CEO and founder of a company called BLOCX. I first got into Bitcoin in 2012, became really fascinated with Bitcoin itself, but more so the back end of Bitcoin. And that led me to mining. I started mining in 2015. And upon that journey, I found that 99% of mining was centralized in China. I was like, well, if Bitcoin's going to succeed, we need to decentralize mining and democratize the space. So my goal was to bring Hashrate to North America. And I think I helped succeed. North American Hashrate is around 60%. China still sits at around 15%. And then Hash, grew around the world. So my company, BLOCX, is actually powering HashRateHackers, and we'll get more into that relationship. BLOCX is one of the largest service providers to the Bitcoin mining ecosystem. We manage over 100 megawatts of capacity. We own and operate our own data centers. About 15% of the total network hash rate has traded through our ASIC brokerage. And as well, we put out research and we develop software that helps the Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining ecosystems. So really excited to further talk about HashRateHackers, but that's my general background. And I'll pass it off to Lior.
Yeah. Once again, thanks for having us here, Brad. Just by way of very short intro on myself, I'm Lior. I've been an investor in this space for the last almost 8 years. CEO and founder at Eden Block. We're an early stage venture firm focused on crypto. And I lucked into the cultural side of crypto a long while ago, when I started collecting CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs, really kind of at the peak of the NFT mania, or actually before the peak of the NFT mania. And I've been playing around with the kind of interesting consumer experiences that these technologies can bring. And so I founded a company called Novel Labs, which has done quite a bit of work in the NFTs and the ordinal space, and so I'm also a seed investor in Mason in BLOCX. So that's where a lot of I guess our there's Trio, there's Ordinal Bot, there's BLOCX, and there's Novel Labs that have all kind of helped us figure out how to think about HashRateHackers. And so yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. So, a lot of my community is used to me sharing tokens with them, like the Trio token. But this project's a little bit different. So if you don't mind kind of explaining exactly what HashRateHackers is, that would be great, because most of the people watching think they're probably going to get told about a token to go buy, but that's not the case with you guys, right?
That's correct. So Lear and I will both spearhead this. I'll take one first stab. So what this project is an ordinals project. So Bitcoin NFTs, and actually Ordinals Bot and Trio are our partners on the launch, and that's you'll be minting the ordinals through Trio. Eventually as well, they'll be listed on Magic Eden. So what HashRateHackers is it's a Bitcoin mining powered ordinal, and we're doing it in an extremely creative way. So we're going to be running a mint. In fact, we already have a pre-sale that's live, that's closing out shortly, that's raised several Bitcoin. And what we did with that Bitcoin actually is start mining Bitcoin. And I'm proud to say that we're already mining Bitcoin, which is quite amazing. So our product's live, and we're already here doing what we said we'd do before we even launch. Now, looking into the project elements, we wanted to design this in a creative way that really pushed utility. One thing that we've seen in the generalized NFT space and on ordinals is a lot of these projects launch, they have really cool art. They may launch, $1 million, 10 million. And then what do you get after that? What we designed is a way for users to get utility after the project goes live. So every ordinal participant will have the ability to receive gamified Bitcoin distributions every month. Our goal, if we sell out, and we're going to eventually cap this at a 10K collection, is to launch a $10 million Bitcoin mining operation behind the project. We'll be distributing a majority of the profits from the mining operation back to the holders each month in a gamified way through hacks. We're HashRateHackers, so you participate in the hack, and you have a chance to win up to one entire Bitcoin per month just by owning one piece. Roughly, we estimate based on the network and the sizing that we'll be distributing about 3 to 5 Bitcoin per month to the holder base. That's all the people that own the ordinal themselves. It'll be staggered. So I mentioned that one Bitcoin number, that's a large number. It'll stagger down from there for the remaining 40% of the mining profits. So 60% to the holders, 40% is going to go back to the project so that we can scale it, so that we can keep this going, so that we can keep the rewards going into perpetuity. The one last piece to consider also is Blockware has been in this space for a long time. We're already a leading service provider. All of the assets will be managed by Blockware. They'll be in safe locations. They're in our own data centers that we own and operate. And as well, the funds don't have to go into building the sites. The funds are going directly into the revenue generating assets, which are the mining rigs. So that's why this really kicks us off to a good start, allows us to already be starting mining, allows us to push out, high profits, and really excited about that. I'll push it to Leor to go a little more deep into the culture and kind of how we thought about this in the first place as well.
Yeah. So the way that like we think about this space in general is like let's kind of think about this from first principles. What do we want people to have access to? Bitcoin mining. That's it. It's that easy. Now, the way in which Bitcoin mining is done right now is either on one side, extremely institutional, so very, very large scale mining operations that you could be a part of in some kind of way, or it's done and which, by the way, those mining operations are, in my opinion, not all great for Bitcoin because they're a centralizing force. On the other hand, you have the solo miners. I'm sure you've heard about these stories where a solo miner on Bitcoin kind of, got to mine an entire block and got 3 Bitcoin or 5 Bitcoin or whatever that was. Those are great stories. And we actually want to be able to reproduce that with a degree of, again, some kind of a consumer experience that links between the strengths of how Web3 communities come together, as well as, keeping it relatively purely about mining. And so I think, Mason came to me like a year ago and he said, "Hey, look, man, I've got all this mining stuff and, you've been doing all these NFT things. How about we kind of, combine forces here and thinking about just the right way to engage a community to create a cultural artifact, which, puts a lot of interesting ideas and notions back into the space, but is definitely there just to qualify as a mining operation. And so we came up with, HashRateHackers was the product of that. So from our perspective, the use of ordinals here is technology only, right? So we've seen a lot of folks try to build things with ordinals or with NFTs, and we think that this is okay. We're using this as the fabric through which we can embed this really, really cool cultural and consumer experience. And so we think that ordinals are the best way for us to make use of this kind of Web3 centric community fabric, but at the end of the core of it, we're just creating a really cool experience around mining, and that's what people need to know. So that's what it is, and I think that at the end of the day, and I'm almost done. At the end of the day, ordinals are a really awesome community and experience, and it's really cool tech, and we want to bring more of the traditional Bitcoin people who care about mining, who might not have cared about ordinals, to ordinals, and vice versa, right? So that's a little bit more about what happened behind the scenes.
Awesome. I love it. Let's go backwards just a little bit, because I'm not sure how many of my viewers are totally fluent and understand exactly what we're talking about when we talk about Bitcoin ordinals. From what I understand, it's very similar to, they're probably familiar with NFTs on the Ethereum, blockchain. And from my understanding, a Bitcoin ordinal is basically an NFT, but it's built, it's part of the Bitcoin blockchain. But if you guys don't mind, I could probably use a little bit of learning in this category too. So I'd love to have you guys just, really explain what a Bitcoin ordinal is and why people would want them.
Lear, you want to hop in on that one, and I'll add?
Yeah, sure. So look, Bitcoin ordinals are really awesome because, at least as they are right now, I think very similarly to NFTs on Ethereum, they're a way for us to embed meaning to a single sat, where on NFTs it's a little bit different from a technical perspective, but what we end up getting is a unique, tangible, non-fungible asset on top of something that we all love, which is Bitcoin sats. I think at the same time there's been a lot of I would say growing pains for ordinals and the communities that are building on top of this technology for a few reasons. Number one, it's been a little bit tough to make the ordinals protocol usable, right? So it's Bitcoin. It's not as easy to kind of I would say interface with as things on Ethereum or on Solana or on other blockchains where smart contracts and other really interesting innovations lie. It's Bitcoin, and so Casey, actually, shout out to Casey, who's done some incredible work and actually, building this thing, which grew to probably way beyond his dreams. But what we're trying to do here is to do a couple of things, to take this technology and use it in a way that kind of makes our use case actually real and kind of doable, but also give a lot of respect to the mother chain, because that's what brought us here. And so I think that actually within ordinals, that's what a lot of existing collections and communities have gravitated towards, which is like making this like extremely unique, a collective experience around what it means to collect assets on the mother chain. And so another group that has done an incredible work using ordinals and building a community there has been the Taproot Wizards, as well as the Quantum Cats. So shout out to Udi and that whole team. They've raised dozens of millions of dollars, and they've sold ultra dope collections for even more. So I think what we're seeing is that there's these incredible collections, creatives that have actually kind of centered around this ordinals protocol and around building communities in the space. So it's a little bit different from, collecting NFTs at the kind of user level, but I think that's why it means so much for a lot of folks. And it's also showing us, a lot of folks what could be possible on Bitcoin, which right now Bitcoin is really, really hard to, to dream beyond the L1. But yeah, that's why we care about ordinals.
And one other thing too to add in also is ordinals are driving transaction fees. So right now about 93% of Bitcoin has been mined. And by the year of 2036, 99% of Bitcoin will be mined. All Bitcoin will be mined by the year about 2140. So from the year of 2036 to 2140, 100 plus years, right? We're going to be chasing 1% of supply. If you remember, actually around the halving in earlier this year, Runes launched and there was some ordinals mint. Well, around that timeline, when Bitcoin subsidy was cut in half, miners were actually making more money after the halving because there were so many ordinals and runes launches. So these create transaction fees, which miners are paid for. Miners are the guardians of the network. They're the ones that are processing transactions and they're paid for their work. We must have miners succeed. So something cool about this project as well is we're marrying the success of Bitcoin to a project itself like ordinals. And we're also decentralizing Bitcoin because we're getting this whole collection into the hands of different people. We don't want Bitcoin to be centralized. We don't want large public companies to control hash rate. So we're creating transaction fees, which we're going to mine, and then we're decentralizing the protocol itself.
Awesome. So let's get into, well, here in a second, let's get into how, my community, how the people that are watching this can actually go participate. But before they do that, most of my community is used to going out, buying a token. Oh, come on, dogs. You gotta be kidding me. Sorry about that, guys. I normally have a second person here and they were sick today. And my dogs think they're saving my life right now from somebody walking past the house or something. But so I apologize for that. Hey, that's enough.
That's my dog's in my office. He's looking at me. He's like, "Is there something around here I should?"
Right?
Yeah.
We have some crazy moments here. I like to joke around and tell people that I'm like about 2 animals shy of a zoo. We've got 3 dogs and 6 cats. And one time I'm doing a live stream and one of my cats is up on a shelf behind me here that you can't see, but it literally jumps and comes flying right through the screen, like almost over my head. And the gentleman that I'm interviewing is like, "Brad, what is going on?" And we actually made a short out of it, and his community made a bunch of memes out of it with the cat flying through. It was kind of funny, but I apologize for that. But let's get back to, so most of my community is used to buying tokens and then hoping that they appreciate. So I know as founders, you guys have to be a little bit careful when it comes to financial advice and all of that kind of stuff. So this isn't financial advice, but just maybe if you could explain in a sense, like, where does the profit come from, or what are my community members that go out and mint one of your ordinals hoping happens, and how do they profit from it?
So there's a two-way stream. Lear, I'm gonna want you to answer the ordinals upside, like the art piece. You're very well versed in that, and I'll answer the mining piece. So when you go out and you mint one of these ordinals, we are going to be pushing the mining farm's profit to the holder base. Now, in the past, a lot of NFT projects, especially, back in the NFT glory days, you saw $50 million mints, $100 million mints, right? The founders, pocketed a lot of that money, right? For us, we're actually taking, nearly all of the proceeds and we're putting it into revenue generating assets, the mining rigs. So every single month, if you own 1 ordinal, if you own 10 ordinals, if you own 100, the more you own, the better chance you have. We're going to be pushing a gamified distribution to the holder base. So it's a hack. We're HashRateHackers. You opt in to the game through your connected ordinals, and there's a leaderboard where you can earn points for how you score on the game and if you participate in the project. And then if you win, you'll actually receive a Bitcoin distribution to your Bitcoin address that's tied to the ordinal itself. And that will run in perpetuity as long as we keep this project alive. We're very good at mining, and we're going to be rolling some of the mining proceeds into the project just to scale it. So we're trying to have this project last 100 years. So every month they have a chance at receiving Bitcoin denominated distributions. Now I'm going to pass it to Leor to talk about some of the upside and the art itself, and maybe walk through some use cases of what's happened to some of the mints that took place in the past and potential upside.
Yeah. Look, the way that we think about this is that this is going to be a perpetually like appreciating asset because of two reasons. Number one, because it is your kind of window or your key into participating in a top of the line, incredibly powerful mining operation. So that's on one side. And again, shout out to Hashlings, I believe, on Bitcoin that have been doing similar things on the ordinals front. I believe that what we try to do here is just to open up the more institutional and more long-term, I would say, view of how something like this can be done, while also providing a unique experience at the collector level. So what's important is that, you're not coming to us and, buying an ordinal and then, getting kind of your few cents per day. Like, that's not what happens. And also, you don't need to pay for anything, right? Like, so we're hosting, like, the project will be hosting all of the costs, everything that we're going to be kind of doing to mine perpetually is taken care of, and again at the highest, most professional level possible. So that's on the mining side. On the ordinal side, look, like, we're working with some incredible artists on this, and I think that the one thing that I'd love to see come to life on the ordinal side is, like, generational IP, right? So we have that with CryptoPunks, we have that with Node Monkeys, we have that with Board API Club. However, where we think that this thing can really take shape and take the whole ordinal space up is really by merging this Bitcoin. This is, for Bitcoin type of mentality, but also creating IP that could actually fit in your video games, in your movies, in pop culture. Like, we want to be able to do that, right? And so on Ethereum, we've actually seen how NFTs have crossed the chasm, how they've become, super successful. And again, Pudgy Penguins in certain ways, BYC in certain ways, CryptoPunks in certain ways. We don't think that beyond, some early communities on ordinals, we don't think that there's been a huge emphasis on IP. We think that there's been a huge emphasis on community, but there hasn't been as big of an emphasis on IP that really could, bolster a community. And so what we want to do is, take those two worlds, converge them, and that's where the upside should come from.
Okay. I apologize for all of the questions. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around this, a lot for myself too, but I think my community will appreciate it. But one of the things that I love, about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general is there's a lot of ways to have them improve my financial life without ever having to sell the underlying asset. And so I'm trying to wrap my mind around. So I understand that if we go and we mint, that there's the potential for that Bitcoin ordinal, which is essentially an NFT, which I believe, so it'll have its own marketplace. There would be the potential down the road, just like with a CryptoPunk or like a Pudgy Penguin, where I could sell that asset, I could sell that NFT, that ordinal, for more than I paid for it. But how do I actually make money potentially by just being a holder of it? That comes back to the hackers, the HashRate hackers.
Yeah, so there's so it goes back to the hacks, right? So, like, the whole point is that your ordinal is your window into this activity. And so, look, this is gamified. This is not like, this is not, and we can't guarantee like anything, disclaimers or whatever. But like the cool part about this is that, if you own the ordinal, you're going to be able to participate in the hacks, and the hacks could provide you with really, really, really interesting upside that will be fed by our mining operation, right? So the mining operation of Hashrate Hackers will be constantly and always consistently powering the rewards that come from the hacks. And so as the mining operation grows, right, then the winners of these hacks might walk away with more and more and more and more and more Bitcoin. So the way that we like to think about this is that it's not like this is not like a 401k or like a passive investment, that you're going to make like 2% a year on. It's like, you can be a long-term holder, you can play the game diligently, and if you win, you're in for a pretty big treat from a Bitcoin perspective, because the I've heard rumors that the first reward for the first hack will be around 1 Bitcoin. So, imagine you win the game, you get $100,000 or 96 or 95,
Right.
whatever it is at the moment. That's the kind of the exhilarating, fun community part that we want to engage, that we want to promote. And so over time, if you hold a lot of these hackers, that also increases your chances of winning, winning the games, winning the hacks, being a good, a big part of these hacks. And so ultimately, we want to change people's lives. We want to also double down on the researchers, the people that have been doing really great work around Bitcoin. And so, so this mining operation will do exactly that. So, yeah, there is the prospect of maybe selling it for higher than you bought it for. But beyond that, there's also the prospect of having a hell of a good time and also winning the hacks. That if you win the hacks, that's where that's where the returns are.
Awesome. I love it. So it just switched over. I believe this is your website. This is the Blockware that you're referring to, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So folks, if you're watching the video and you want to go take a closer look and do more due diligence, you can do it right here at blockwaresolutions.com. And then, let's go ahead and get into how in the world we can go participate in this. I know that you've got a couple, you said that you've got a sale going on right now. There's a whitelist coming up. Then there's going to be the launch, and let's just get into how we can go become a Hashrate hacker and how we can be part of this amazing mint.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go to Twitter? Do you want me to go to the website? Where do you want me to start off?
Yeah, go to the X. And there's one more thing I wanted to cover, actually.
Sure.
Mining right now is very profitable. And historically, we're analysts, right? And, our research is taken and covered by Bloomberg, by Forbes, by the largest sell-side analysts, in the Wall Street and investment banking space. They use Blockware research for their projections and for putting recommendations on stock purchases. So Bitcoin historically has outpaced difficulty, which is how hard it is to mine Bitcoin, by about 1.5% monthly on a running basis. Blockware has some of the top lowest cost energy. We already had the infrastructure installed. So the project is going to be getting extremely good mining economics. We're projecting a $10 million operation behind this. We should be mining about 10 to 15 Bitcoin a month, right? That's substantial. And the majority of those profits will be pushed back to the user base. And as Lyra mentioned, the ordinals holders don't have to pay for electricity. We're talking about the profits. We're going to cover that with the revenue, and then we're going to push out the profits back to the holder base, and then push some of the profits to scale. But let's go to the X account, and let's talk about some major dates and timelines to participate. So if you go to the X, the top pinned message, if you put your whitelist in there, you're open to the whitelist. So the whitelist is going to launch on February 25th. Everyone that has their ordinals wallet, we recommend X first posted there, will have access to log in and purchase an ordinal. The price for the whitelist is 0.01 Bitcoin per piece. Roughly, that's about $960. About 2 days later, we're going to be opening up the public mint. The public mint price is open to anyone. You didn't have to have your whitelist address listed in there. And if you miss that window, that's okay. The public mint price is 0.0125 Bitcoin per ordinal. Then for the next 2 days, we've raised several Bitcoin. We're venture backed already. So we have some venture funds that invested in on the private sale. But if you have any followers that are interested in making a more sizable investment, they can join the private sale, which is available over the next 3 days. I'm not going to disclose the full terms, but they can reach out if they DM the HashRateHackers Twitter. Hey, I'm interested in the private sale. I'm ready to move in the next 3 days. We can get them on that. But the key dates are making sure to get your address in for that whitelist, joining the whitelist when it goes live for 48 hours, and that'll be done through Trio, and then participate in the public mint. One thing I want to say about the public mint is we're actually going to keep it open for a few weeks. We're not really concerned about day one performance, and very much so, this could mint out on day one. That'd be fantastic. But we're going to let this roll out. We'd really like, we're capping this at a 10K collection. So we're going to let the public mint stay open. I'd say already about 20 to 30% of supply is accounted for. So you have a chance at the remaining 70% of the supply.
Awesome. And other than Twitter here, Telegram is the next best place to connect with you guys?
So if you go to HashRateHackers.io, you'll actually see it in the bottom right of this screen. It's also on the X page. You'll see on the top left, there's a little fact page. It'll describe more about the project. But then if you click join Telegram, we also have a live Telegram that we manage. We post information in there. So that's where you can find more information. X, I'd say, is the main central hub. We've already grown a nice following. We have some great marketing partnerships and influencer partnerships already. So we're really betting on success. And Leo and I are putting our brand and reputation behind this. Both of us have run companies that have done hundreds of millions in revenue, and we both have actually raised over hundreds of millions of dollars for entities. So I think this project's in really good hands, and my gauge on success rate is really high. So I'm really looking forward to getting this out there.
Awesome. I love it. Do you guys mind if we go and have a couple of questions from the viewers?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. So Deadwood, who is a longtime subscriber to the channel, super solid guy, says, hardware investing is very halving orientated. What ASICs are being used? Are there plans for retooling as more efficient miners are introduced? Yep.
Great news. The halving just took place. So we've got a 4-year window where Bitcoin subsidy sits at 3.125. Super clear economics during that time frame. I'm really bullish on Bitcoin during this 4-year cycle. We will manage and upgrade. Blockware does this full time. We're one of the largest ASIC market makers, and in fact, we invented an exchange that allows you to have liquidity. So we'll leverage our own resources. We'll consistently upgrade the fleet. We'll manage the fleet. We'll take care of all of that. It's all covered in the project. The ordinals don't have to bear any of that cost. That's our job.
Okay. And then just a quick security question. Since during the end of the month, winners would have Bitcoin distributed to their tiled accounts, I'm not exactly sure what he meant by that, but how strong is your security network such that it won't be hacked, or is going to be, people have to worry about, security and that type of thing?
So 2 parts, Leo. I'll let you talk about the backend on Novel, and but for your Bitcoin, wallet address and your X-Verse address, the users create their X-Verse address. Be careful of that. Control your seed. Keep it offline. Be very careful. Don't get yourself personally prone or hacked or any phishing accounts. The same goes for your Bitcoin wallet address. Be extremely safe. Do not give away your seed. That's kind of on the end users. On the Blockware side, we're SOC compliant. Our financials are audited. We're VC backed. We are extremely secure at our facilities. They're top grade. We've never been hacked. We have people certainly have tried to hack us. So Blockware's infrastructure and security protocols are all in place. And we actually also possess the machines. We have 24-hour security, that kind of thing is not going to happen, and all of our stuff's insured. As far as, the HashRateHackers website and the ordinals, Leo, any additional points on security?
Yeah, no, look, it's super simple. When you win, if you win, you'll get your Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin should go into your wallet. So like the only thing on the security side is just make sure that you win, and make sure that you're safe, that you control your own seed phrases and all that stuff. Never share it with us, never share it with anybody else. And the only way to, I mean, there will be like a signature process. So to authenticate that you own the asset that qualifies, for the hack, then all you'll need to do is, again, interact with our website, which again, will take every precaution to make sure is not DDoSed, is not hacked. So yeah, I mean, look, we're taking all the security standards, and then more as well. So that shouldn't be a problem on our side, but it's always something to always say, like, don't trust, verify, right? So and anytime you interact with anything on chain and online, always do your due diligence. That goes for our project. It goes for anything that moves in this space, really.
100%. Dave, the links are in the top of the description. I've got the link to the website, the link to the Twitter, the link to the Telegram group are all in the description. I've also posted them here in the chat. So you guys, these should be hyperlinks too. If you're in the chat, you just want to go straight to their Twitter right now, you can. And then I just posted their link to their website here a minute ago too, I believe. Yeah. So all of them are in the chat or in the description of the video. Should be pretty easy for you guys to get there. One more quick question here by Deadwood, and then we'll give away some money and let you guys enjoy your day. So new ASICs just hit over the past few months. 14K a machine, uses 11,180 watts. I'm not sure if that's a question or a statement. I guess he's maybe asking if you guys are using the currently the top of the line mining software, and if I don't know if you want to chime in on that or not. Like I say, it wasn't even necessarily a question. Yeah,
that's the newest machine that came out. It's like the UAE. It's the first like 10 kW miner. This is Blockware's expertise. In fact, we are market makers in the ASIC market. We partially control ASIC pricing, given the amount of volume that we move. As I mentioned, about 15% of the total network hash rate flows through us. And we had, thousands and thousands of trades that take place with us every month. We're going to deploy into Hydro machines, the S21 Hydros. We found those to have the highest ROI. We like Hydro for longevity and infrastructure, and we have it all set up. So we go for, two things for miners is one, price, that's super important. And then the second is the efficiency. And we always zone in on what has the best combination of the two. We've got these, Albert Einstein models that tell us which miner is the best, and that's what we deploy into.
All right, with that, guys, we told everybody that we were going to be giving away $100, and so we are going to give away $25. It's either going to be Ethereum or like USDC on the Ethereum blockchain. So most of my viewers understand what they got to do in order to win. But I'm sure that some of your, some of your community is watching this, and we want to give everybody opportunity to win. So what we're going to do is, in the background, I've had this giveaway tool going on, and it has been collecting everybody that has put in hashtag HashRateHackers in the chat has an entry into the drawing. And the way that we're going to make sure that we don't have any scammers or anybody messing with us is when you are drawn, You're going to come in here to the chat, let us know that you're still here. You do have to be present to win. And then I am able to click on somebody, like we'll go with Christine Joy here. And once this pulls up, I can go to their channel, which now doesn't allow anybody to try to clone their YouTube channel or act like they are them. And then I will go to this about. So every single one of you has the ability to basically edit your about page on your YouTube. So you're just going to go in here, and like she's got her email and her PayPal, you're going to go ahead and put your Ethereum-based wallet address, whether that's Trust Wallet, MetaMask, whatever you want to get the $25 sent to you on. Like I say, it's either going to be Ethereum or like USDC on the Ethereum network. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and draw some winners. Once again, folks, you do have to be present to win. So if we draw any winners and they do not raise their hand in the chat, we will draw new winners. We've got Johnny Bravo. So please let us know in the chat if you are here. Our second winner. Loves to be dramatic. Boy Meets Crypto. Boy Meets Crypto, congratulations. You have won 25 bucks. Our third winner will be God's Wish. Hey, God's Wish. Congratulations. Thank you for being here today. And our fourth winner, trying to see if anybody that won yesterday wins again. Hopefully we got some new winners. Yeah, these are all new winners, so awesome. I am not going to try to pronounce that, but I do have it written down. And now I'm going to run back over to YouTube here real quick, folks. Just give me a quick second to verify that the winners are here. So we got Johnny Bravo, Boy Meets Crypto. Trying to see in the chat if any of them have raised their hands and said that they are here. Here we go. Boy Meets Crypto. Go to his channel. So we've got him situated. Johnny Bravo. Go to his channel. And now we're just looking for God's Wish and Rowana Licia. I think I might have pronounced that halfway decent. Do we have anybody see Boy or God's Wish in here? There we go, God's Wish. And Rowana Licia. If we do not have them in the chat, we will go ahead and draw a new winner. So we're going to do just a little 10-second countdown and then draw another winner if we do not see Rowana Licia in here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to draw another winner, folks. Roger the Alien. Interesting. We did a interview with a project called UFO not too long ago, so it wouldn't surprise me if he's part of their community. All right. So Robert the Alien, are you here? Sorry, Rowana Licia. We already drew another winner, folks. You got to be quicker than that. You know, part of the reason that I do the countdown too, guys, is you know, I know that there's a few of you that like to game the system and you know, comment under multiple YouTubes, and then you scramble real quick when I draw the winners, and we're just not going to have that happening. So unfortunately, you definitely can win the next time, but you got to be here in and say something in a timely manner. Is Roger the Alien still here? There's Roger the Alien. Roger the Alien, got you situated. Thank you for being here. And, you know, with that, folks, I definitely want to give you gentlemen a opportunity to, you know, any final last words. If there's anything that we missed that we should have talked about, we're in no hurry here. So feel free to, you know, say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, really, thank you for having us on. really looking forward to launching this project. We've been working on it for a year and a half. We've invested 7 figures of our own capital into it. So we're really hoping for success, and I'm sure it will. Really trying to bring eyes to the ordinals community. We're bringing in Bitcoiners, we're bringing in Bitcoin miners, we're bringing in generalized NFT enthusiasts into ordinals. We're really trying to grow that space, and I think this project is going to do that. And we think it should be one of the largest mints in ordinals history. So thanks for having us on, Brad.
Yeah, no, thank you both for being here. And folks, if you don't see the excitement behind this yet, then just keep plugging in. Go get on their Twitter account, go check out their website, get into their Telegram, because this is something that is massive and a wave that is coming that, like a lot of people right now are excited about AI and RWA. And I don't think that, the Bitcoin ordinals has had their day in the sun. And so I'm personally definitely excited to go become a part of this mint and to become a part of HashRateHackers. And we'll definitely continue to do more content. Next Wednesday, I've got a live stream that I'm doing on microcap gems, which would be what, 26th, so that would still be in time. So I will talk about you guys on the 25th itself and point all of my viewers that are on that live stream towards your Twitter, towards that whitelist. And folks, you're always welcome to DM me. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Telegram, I'm on Discord. If you have any questions, feel free to come directly to me. But with that, thank you both for taking up an hour of your time. I know how hard you guys are working, 15, 20-hour days probably, trying to get this all together before the mint. So your time is valuable. I very much appreciate you sharing some of it with us.
Thanks a lot, Brad. It was a pleasure to meet you and to chat with you and meet your dogs as well. It was fun talk.
Awesome, man. Well, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. When I click off of here, try not to X all the way out until your upload is complete. So
Cool.
With that, thank you all for being here. God bless you all. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.